Our top story this morning, President Obama's promise to punish North Korea for the hack attack against Sony Pictures. Sony is being sharply criticized for deciding not to release its film The Interview following online threats.
The FBI says the North Korean government was behind the hacking. They are denying it. At this morning, North Korean state media reports the country is proposing a joint investigation with the United States on the cyber attack. Julianna Goldman is in our Washington bureau this morning with more. Good morning, Julianna.
Good morning. Well, North Korea is calling the FBI's accusations slander and warning of grave consequences if the U.S. refuses that joint investigation. Now, yesterday, the president didn't mince words when it came to North Korea or to Sony. He told reporters that while he was sympathetic to Sony's concerns, the studio should not have backed down to North Korea.
I think they made a mistake.
President Obama said U.S. citizens and businesses shouldn't change the way they operate, and he warned against the precedent set when a foreign dictator imposes censorship in the U.S.
I wish they'd spoken to me first. I would have told them, do not get into a pattern in which you're intimidated by these kinds of criminal attacks.
Following the president's remarks, Sony CEO Michael Linton said he did reach out to the White House and pointed to the theaters as the reason the movie's release was suspended.
We have not caved, we have not given in, we have persevered, and we have not backed down. We have always had every desire to have the American public see this movie.
But the president indicated threats were overblown, and in a dig to North Korea, dismissed the regime's leader Kim Jong-un, noting he mounted an all-out assault on what is just a satirical film, The Interview, starring Seth Rogen and James Franco.
You want us to kill the leader of North Korea?
Yes.
What? I love Seth, and I love James. But the notion that that was a threat to them, I think gives you some sense of the kind of regime we're talking about here.
That said, the cyber attack on Sony Pictures is one of the most destructive ever directed against a U.S.-based corporation. President Obama said all indications point to North Korea acting on its own and vowed to punish the regime.
We will respond proportionally, and we'll respond in a place and time and manner that we choose.
In a statement, the FBI said IP addresses and malware were similar to those used in previous attacks linked to North Korea. It also cited similarities between the Sony incident and attacks on South Korean banks and media outlets last March. They wrote, North Korea's actions were intended to inflict significant harm on a U.S. business, and such acts of intimidation fall outside the bounds of acceptable state behavior. Now, at this point, the president's options for punishment appear to be limited. They include more economic sanctions, a counter-cyber attack, or freezing foreign bank accounts of prominent North Koreans. Anthony?
Julianna Goldman in Washington, thanks.